everybody. What a great crowd for the final hours of an exhausting 3-day conference. Thank you for joining us. I hope you've been enjoying all the speakers so far. I think you're going to enjoy this next talk as well. It's with the company Faire. Our next company is on a mission to revolutionize the way retailers shop for their stores. As if it wasn't impressive enough that they've raised $116 million in funding, they've done so in just 2 years. To discuss his experience of taking Faire through rapid growth and why he believes the future of retail is local, please help me welcome to the stage Max Rhodes, co-founder and CEO of Faire.
Hi, everybody. I'm Max. I am the co-founder and CEO of Faire. And Faire is a wholesale marketplace that connects independent shops with goods that we guarantee will sell in their stores. And when I say guarantee, I mean we actually allow these stores to try products out before they buy them. There's no risk. They get 60 days to see how the products are selling. Anything that doesn't sell within 60 days, they can send back to us. And that's not something that's ever been possible before. Today, I want to talk a little bit about why we believe we are entering a new era of retail and why we think that new era of retail might look a little bit different than what all of you may be expecting. And we want to talk about how Faire is helping to usher in this new era. For most of human history, retail and trade were local. Our ancestors came together in the communities to exchange goods and services. And almost everything that we bought was made by a neighbor and was sold by one of our neighbors. So trade and community were inextricably linked. And then in the 1960s, starting with Walmart and then followed by dozens of other copycats, we saw the rise of the chain store. And with the rise of the chain store, retail lost its connection to community. Stores moved from the center of town on Main Street to the outskirts of town in strip malls. Retail became about accumulating as much stuff as possible, as cheaply as possible. It became transactional. I saw this up front in my hometown of Norman, Oklahoma. It's where I grew up. There was a shoe store called Athletic Village that was owned by the Baptist family. Richard, Lori, and their son Blake was actually on my soccer team. And every year, I would go to Athletic Village to buy my soccer shoes. And every year, Richard would be there to help me find the newest pair of cleats from Romario or Ronaldo or whichever Brazilian soccer player I wanted to be like that year. And it was always one of the highlights of the season for me. And then in 2003, just as I was starting high school, a chain store showed up on the outskirts of town in a strip mall. And it was literally called Shoe Monster, I think. And Shoe Monster was huge. It had a basketball court inside of it. And people started buying their shoes from the Shoe Monster. And then a couple years later, Athletic Village closed down. Watching Richard and Lori and Blake go through that bankruptcy was incredibly hard on our community. It was a tragedy in a lot of ways. And it was not an isolated case. Hundreds of thousands of small business owners have lost their livelihoods over the course of the past 60 years with the rise of the chain store. These people are doers and dreamers, much like the folks at this conference. These are people that believed in themselves, and for a lot of them, their dreams died. And I think that a lot of folks here probably believed with the rise of Amazon that was only going to continue. I think a lot of us probably think that 10 years from now, everything that we buy is going to be made in a factory by robots, shipped to a warehouse manned by robots, and then delivered to us in a truck driven by robots. But something really interesting has started to happen over the course of the past 10 years. Over the course of the past 10 years, we've seen a renaissance of local retail. We're seeing it in bookstores, in pharmacies, in drugstores, in hardware stores, pets, toys, in almost every vertical. you're seeing a comeback of local retail. And the reason for that, ironically, is because these stores have already been through their version of the retail apocalypse. The struggle that they went through over the course of the past 50 years has actually prepared them for this new era of retail. They know how to live in a world where they can't offer the lowest prices and the largest assortments. So while Amazon is giving these chain stores a taste of their own medicine, local retailers are perfectly positioned to pick up the pieces that are left behind by the failure of these big box competitors. And that's because these stores understand that consumers want more than just the lowest prices and the largest assortments. Consumers are craving experiences from shopping. They want community, they want connection, they want curation, they want memories. The only challenge that these stores are facing is the fact that technology has left them behind. In so many ways, these stores are still way behind in innovation. All of the innovation that's happened over the course of the past 50 years has happened first with chain stores and now with e-commerce. And that's why we started Faire. Faire is helping to bring these retailers into this new era and helping to make sure that they take advantage of the opportunity in front of them. When a store signs up for Faire, they get tools that previously have only been accessible to the largest chains. We give them capital. They get net 60 payment terms, so a credit line, so that they can buy products that otherwise they wouldn't be able to buy. We give them free returns, which is something that chain stores have had for decades. If you sell a product into a chain store like Walmart and that product doesn't sell, it's coming straight back to you. And we actually take on the risk for these stores and for our brands. So we don't even send it back to our brands. We actually take care of all of that. Now, with these benefits, we are helping these stores compete. Why are we able to do that? It's because of community. We are connecting these stores together into a community. We have 30,000 stores buying on our platform. And through this community, we are creating a network of stores that is larger than any chain. We have more locations than Walgreens, Walmart, and Nordstrom combined. So by connecting these stores into this community, by pooling together all of this data, we are helping these stores take advantage of scale in a way that they never could before. By connecting these stores together into a community, we are helping to make sure that the future of retail is local. That's it. I think we have time for questions, so if there are any questions. If there are no questions, then I will just say we have an engineering office in Waterloo, Canada. And so if you know any talented software engineers that are interested in empowering entrepreneurs, or if you yourself are a talented software engineer, we're growing, we're hiring, and we'd love for you to join us. Thanks.